Right, so my fridge is finally arrived. I've ordered this fridge about 3 weeks ago. It's Flex Adventures. It's a Cf55 car compressor fridge. Okay, so I'm just going to unbox it. You know, I did buy a bag separately, which came quite a few weeks ago. That's the bag for the fridge. Okay, the bag cost me about 900 Rand, and the fridge cost me about 6,800 Rand. It's got nice sturdy handles, and it's pretty lightweight compared to my last fridge I had. The last fridge I had was a Dometic 50 liter. Okay. So it's pretty tall, and opening up now this fridge. Okay. Oh, it's got a pretty solid door. There, it's got a nice chain holding the door open. Looking inside, you can see we have a removable basket. Here's probably a box with a cabling in it. It's pretty deep, so I mean you could stand a big cool drink in here quite easily. It's got a nice, what I've noticed is it's got a pretty nice seal and a pretty solid catch, you know, with a hinge system. And then of course the display is in front there. Okay, and what I like is that you know, this would be pretty handy or easy to strap down, you know, these solid handles. So let's see what's in this box. See if we can open that box up there. Yeah, it looks like a charge, you know, a power pack. That is a cigarette lighter 12 volt system. That's the cables and the transformer. Okay, for running it on 220 volts, I suppose, from 220 volts. And then of course you have your instructions manual. Alright, so that's the unboxing of my Flex Adventures fridge. If we just look at the side here, we can see that's the DC voltage socket there. Okay, going around the fridge, you can see the normal vents and so on. Okay, so it doesn't actually have two different plugs, because that is a transformer unit, so it will bring 220 volts down to 12 volts. Okay, so it is just the one inlet, so you either use it straight off the car, okay, or you use it with a transformer from 220 volts. Right, that's solved. So here's where it's going to be used. Okay, I've got a Land Rover Discovery 3, and basically you know, I will be using this fridge mainly in this vehicle. So I will be fitting it in like that, something like that. I'm gonna have to find a way to strap it down so that it doesn't roll around. I don't want to put in a packing system into this vehicle like I did with my Pajero. I want to keep it basically like this, unhindered. And yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a you know, fiddly, but I'm gonna have to do it that way, because I have also acquired a 4x4 trailer. Okay, it is a Fender glider, Hunter they call it. It's got a nice big tent, you know, with 2 awnings on it. It takes 2 jerry cans. I've done the conversion. I've actually did this myself. I've put in 220 volt outlets, you know, so that when we're at camp with the voltage, you know, with 220 volts, we can plug in from the caravan, you know, from the electric site over there, and plug that in. Inside I've got a sophisticated charger with a battery, okay, which will run all the lights, You know, we can even run the fridge off that as well. So when we do have 220 volts at the campsite, we have 3 outlets. You know, you can run lights, stoves, kettles, things like that. But you know, this is also packed to capacity, so I got all my camping gear in one place. Alright, she's ready to tow. I just don't keep my gas tank on board, and my jerry cans that I keep in a storeroom. So before I leave on a trip, I normally just pack it up. Okay, so that's my trailer. You know, some more of that in later videos. But back to the fridge. You know, this video is all about the fridge. So I've got to find ways of mounting this fridge securely in the back of my Land Rover Discovery 3. And you know, we're going to test it and see how it runs, because I don't have a dual battery system in this car, and I don't intend fitting one. You know, I just want to leave it stock standard. Okay, so you know, I'll get back to you with some more videos on how I'm going to figure this out. Okay, so I've come up with a simple solution, you know, to mount my flex fridge in my Land Rover Discovery 3. Alright, so I didn't want it to be a permanent, you know, a permanent feature in the vehicle. I didn't want to put a fridge slide in it and all that. Okay, so I'm quite happy that when I don't use it, I'll take it out and I'll put it inside, you know, or when we get to camp, I normally put it inside my tent, you know, and then hook up the 12 volt. So I just basically got me some compression straps, because we do have hooks. You know, I have it on this side of the load bay as well. It has these very solid hooks. So all that I've got one strap coming down here with a ratchet like that. That's pretty tight. And then of course the fridge itself, it's stopped there, so it can't go any further. And it is very solid. It can't move forward or it can't move back as much as I try. You know, I've also bought the fridge blanket, okay, from Flex Adventures. I bought it actually through Take-A-Lot. Okay, so that works like that, and then quite simply, you know, it just goes up to the top, and then now I can access my fridge quite easily without having to move the fridge around. You know, I might have to come up and kneel up on here to take a good look inside the fridge, but I don't mind that, you know. And once the tailgate is up like that, that's what it looks like. And just to give you an idea of this side here, okay, so here's where my plug goes. I've got my I bought 2 volt power supplies. I bought 2. One I cut, okay, and I connected it straight into my vehicle system, okay, and the other one I keep in the pouch on the side, together with the, you know, together with a 220 volt one, so that I can hook it up wherever I need to, you know, wherever I have a power source. I've got another strap over here. Basically these straps cost me like $150 for the set. Okay, it's pretty long. I didn't want to cut it, you know, so I just use as much as what I can. And then, you know, sometimes when you're traveling, you maybe have a water, you want to put a water bottle down here, and I can tie that up so that it doesn't roll around. And then of course my seat will just, you know, hold up like that, all nicely out of the way. And yeah, so that's my solution, guys, for how to mount my flex fridge, you know, in my Land Rover. Okay, as I said, you know, the vents are not blocked up or anything. It's pretty far away from the edge of the car, of the inside of the load bay. And then of course I have my you know, I have my 220 volt power supply there. I have my extra 12 volt power supply over there. You know, as I said, I bought 2, so that just plugs straight into the, but you know that when you're driving, that is not very stable. They tend to pull out, you know, so that's why I connected my permanent one with an Anderson plug onto this power supply over here. You can actually hear the compressor running there. Very quiet. This is such an awesome fridge. Right, so you know, the setting, you know, of the fridge is very simple. You know, here's a power switch, basically. You know, this is the control panel. There's the power switch, so that's off now. Okay, Just press once and then it goes on. It'll tell you how good your battery is. So there's still 12 volts over there. In maximum it goes down to 11.3 because the compressor is obviously running now. And then, you know, if you want to set your what temperature you want to set, it's running at 17 degrees at the moment. It does have Wi-Fi, so you get an app, you know, which you download off Google, and then you can actually monitor your temperature on your phone while you're driving, you know, without having to come to the back and check everything here. So it's basically just simple, you know. You just you got a down arrow to decrease the temperature. If you, let's say I wanted to run at -9 degrees, so I've got it set on -9. It'll show me it's at 17 at the moment, and then, you know, as time goes by, you know, the temperature will come down as the fridge cools inside. And I tell you, within about 20 minutes or so, you know, if you go down to -5, within 20 minutes this fridge is going to be running at -5. It is so good. And you know, so it's basically simple. You know, if you want to take the temperature up again, all that you do is you go press with the up button and then you increase the temperature, okay, or decrease with the down button, okay. Each press will give you one increment, okay, and then this will give you, this is a visual, you know, basically a visual indicator of how good your battery is. Okay, now I never run this fridge when my car is not running. Okay, I've got it so set that when I do start the car up, you know, the fridge will only get power when the car is running. Alright, right now I'm basically jimmying it just to do the demonstration for you. Alright, other settings is basically eco. You can have it run on eco, you can have it run on maximum, you know. I'm not going to get too deeply into that, but I normally just run it on the eco one, you know, which will not draw too much battery voltage and things like that, but it'll get your temperature down to where you need it. Okay, so you know, the display is very, it's very bright. You can actually see it. You don't have to strain your eyes for it, you know, and it's very simple. This fridge is sort of idiot proof, you know. It's very simple to use, very simple to set. So basically, you know, in the off position, you know, once you power it up, okay, it will show you, you know, what temperatures is running at, what voltage you are using. All right, and then of course, if you can set, my temperature is now set on -6, so it's gonna run until it reaches -6. The compressor will run, the motor will run until it reaches -6, and then the motor will sort of switch off and on as it regulates the temperature and keeps it at -6. Okay, so I mean, on a normal, you know, in the heart of summer, if it's like really a hot summer's day, I'll normally run this fridge at -3. Okay, I'll normally run it at -3, and I find that actually starts icing up the water after an hour or two. You know, the water starts really getting icy. You know, you can run it at -1 or at just freezing, which is 0, and but -3 is good for me. This fridge can be used as a fridge or as a freezer, because it goes down to let's see what she goes down to. I think she goes down to like -20. There we go, -20 degrees Celsius. Now that's a freezer. Okay, so if you're going on a weekend trip or whatever, and you're not going to get into your fridge too often, you know, but you've got meat and things like that which you want to be kept cool or frozen, you go -20, and then this fridge becomes a freezer. Okay, I've never used it as a freezer yet because I've never really done a very long trip. Okay, but it has that capabilities. All right, so yeah, this is basically the Flex Cf55. You know, I'm impressed with it so far. As I said, I've used it on 1 or 2 occasions, and it is an awesome, brilliant fridge for the price. You know, I mean, I had a Waco before this one. I sold it with my Pajero, and then I bought this new one. I've seen this advertised on the internet, and I thought, well, Flex Adventures, local guys, you know, they're situated in Somerset West, and you know, I like to support our local companies, and I am nothing but impressed with this Flex fridge so far. Okay, but I'll keep you updated as time goes by. Okay, we're entering into summer now. It is September 2021, and I'll sort of report back on it after about 6 months and tell you how good she's going still. Well, I've also had an extra layer of tint put onto my windows so that I have privacy. So we have privacy in the passenger, privacy in the load bay, but I left this clearer. There is a light film here for the sun, but according to law, you gotta have this the light, and you can have the back pretty dark. So as you can see, you cannot see inside here, and that also helps with the fridge, keeping things, regulating the temperature better as well, because you don't get any sun penetrating in here. Alright, so that helps too with the use, efficiency of the fridge.